Welcome back to Taiwan Outlook. We've been talking about craniofacial treatments and craniofacial patients in Taiwan. And our two guests are Rebecca Wang, Executive Director of the Nodolf Craniofacial Foundation, and the volunteer there, Dr. Bocha. We've been talking about your works in Taiwan and also in other countries. But you keep mentioning that teamwork is very important. So you have to cooperate with other groups as well. How about that kind of cooperation? Are there any specific groups, or do you try to cooperate with as many groups as possible?
Yeah, I think we need to cooperate with the INGO. Mm-hmm. Yeah, just I think for example, just in Lampan, mm-hmm. There's INGO say Caritas. Mm-hmm. Just Caritas branch in Lampan, and the headquarters is in United States. Mm-hmm. And Caritas will help us to collect patients because they have community social work to help collect patients. Mm-hmm. Before just our team come. Mm-hmm. And the World Region will provide 2 cars for mm-hmm. Our medical team. Yeah. Yeah, just to help the transportation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Caritas also offer the medical expense. Just mm-hmm. Support $50 US for every surgery for mm-hmm. every patients. And the hospital just they assign some medical personnel to cooperate with our team. Mm-hmm. Now, just everyone have their role, their function, mm-hmm. and then we can have a successful mission. Mm-hmm. But after that, actually, the first time we went to Lampan, they in the whole Cambodia, there was no one can do the cleft palate surgery.
That's right.
Yeah, and we train now. We train to surgeons there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
as you mentioned that in those countries in need, there are also other missions helping the craniofacial patients as well. Are you also sharing experiences and sharing the resources with those other countries' missions?
I think the foundation is open to international cooperation. Mm-hmm. Probably it's not that easy to cooperate. As I mentioned before, the mission might have different goals and different philosophies how they do the missionary mm-hmm. work. And I have a quite bad taste about those missions, I have to admit, because if you want to help, then do it properly. Of course, every help helps, I would say, or every little drop matters. But mm-hmm. but it was very sad to see when we went to Laos, and we were, I don't know how far in the row, mm-hmm. how many missions were before us, but I'm sure there were quite many. Mm-hmm. We were actually asking. And the little patient comes with a cleft lip, is the old patient, and the cleft is very wide. There is a very simple method. You just take a 3M tape and you do so-called taping to approximate the edges of the cleft. Then it will make the surgery easier. Mm-hmm. I mean, you keep the patient like this until the surgeon comes and do the surgery. But we haven't seen a single patient like that. So my first question was, which kind of message this mission left behind?
That's right.
That was a simple, I'm not talking about anything high-tech. I'm talking mm-hmm. about single thing to teach the people how to help in the very basic environment.
Mm-hmm. So it's different philosophy, you know?
It's very different, and that's why I put the Nodolf Craniofacial Foundation very high credit for mm-hmm. for the work they do.
Are you also working with the government? Because apparently our government has been trying to provide medical assistance to other countries. But for some NGOs, they are more reluctant to work with the government. How about your foundation?
We are not really get a lot of fund from the government. Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually we just raise the fund from the public. Mm-hmm. But now we cooperate with the INGO, Smile Train. Mm-hmm. This is quite big, maybe the biggest organization, NGO, just INGO, mm-hmm. to provide a cleft palate service in the world. Mm-hmm. and just I want to explain that just after the C doctors just when they complete their training in Taiwan, when they go back to their home country, we will link the Smile Train's resources to help them. Just so Smile Train can support, every surgery can support US dollars 150 or 250, and that will just help a lot of patients.
But looking back, Nodov Craniofacial Foundation has come a long way. But looking back, there must be some frustrations, ups and downs and so on. What are the biggest frustrations, if there's any, why are you trying to help those people and those countries?
Actually, I should have kept quiet, but
no.
But it's a very correct question, and I was actually asking myself, because when you go to these countries, and I would go maybe 9 years back when I went for my first mission in Africa. And I have seen the poverty and the terrible conditions. And we were trying to build a small clinic just to provide them very basic care, nothing high-tech, like very basic care. But even still that looked to me, I would say, useless. But I had a lot of discussions on that topic with a social worker who was a local person, who was an African, working in the rescue center for the street children. And we were discussing a lot, and he told me that's the government issue, and that's the politician issue. You are here for that single case because you are a doctor. If you are a politician, you can think globally, and you should think globally because it's your duty. But as a doctor, or as me, as a social worker, I'm thinking of individual case. So I'm here to help this single person, and that actually helped me a lot, because if the foundation goes there, the foundation goes there to help that single child. Because if the foundation doesn't go there, nobody would help that child.
But the government policy is very important.
Of course, I'm not making an excuse. I am actually making a strong point that government should take care for the global problem, and then maybe we can show them the good example that. Actually, it can be done. If the people start asking this service, if the people can change the government, they will say, look, the foreigner does something for me and my government doesn't do anything for me. Why would I need such government? I don't want.
But I think society also carries some responsibilities, right? Because I think in Taiwan, at least for the past few years, it becomes quite a very popular thing for people to volunteer, to work for the society and for other societies as well. Does that kind of development help your foundation in getting more volunteers?
Yeah, I think because the economic development, if the country was very poor, they don't. Everyone they are busy to just making their life. They don't have time for the volunteers.
That's right.
Even in Phnom Penh, just our C doctors, he's a surgeon and he's very dedicated, a good skier. But he just their salary only 60 or 100 US dollars per month. They cannot make a living, so they have to just have their private clinic at home. It's just kind of just very frustrating. Just he can do more patients, but because for making a living, he only can just see some very small disease.
Dr. Bocha, you're also working with other volunteers from the local hospitals and so on. What's your experience of working with them?
I had actually quite a good experience. Of course, the experience can vary, depends on the country. I have not very pleasant experience from South Sudan, but that was the very difficult condition. There was actually the war. There was a civil war at that time when I was there. So that was very specific environment. I wouldn't like to comment on that. But generally in the developed country or in the developing country, which is little bit more developed. If you find the right people, as Dr. Nordhoff said, you have to find the right people, and then you can achieve achieve a lot. And I think the main success of the foundation was to find the right people at the very beginning and to train them, and they proved the choice of the Dr. Nordhoff. They stayed with the foundation. They are still doing an excellent job, and they train even me. So I'm very grateful to my teachers.
Yeah. And apparently your foundation is expanding, and I think there will be some specific goals you are hoping to accomplish in the years ahead. So when we come back, we'll talk about your mission in the long term and how we can do to help the foundation to help more people. So don't go away. We'll be back after this message.